Well, in its 5th year, the free, family-friendly Stanley Arts Festival takes place next weekend, September 7th and 8th, at another popular location with the name Stanley, the Stanley Marketplace. It's a great opportunity for first-time buyers to dip their toe in the art water. And with more on the festival is Tara Brickell, Executive Director and CEO of Cherry Arts, and exhibiting artist John Hamilton, who's hard at work over here. Tara, while he's working, I'm going to ask you about the Stanley Arts Festival and really what it's all about.
Sure. So it's produced by Cherry Arts, and it does take place out at the Stanley Marketplace, and that's a really unique venue out in Aurora, right on the border of Stapleton. We're going to feature 90 juried artists this year, and then we have all sorts of things. We have art installations, we have interactive art activities for the entire family, we've got food trucks, live music all weekend, and as you mentioned, it's a really great event for first-time buyers. We have a lot of different artists with different medias and also different price points.
Isn't that fun? All right, so the immersion and really the uniqueness of the art festival comes alive. So what can people expect when it comes to that?
We are really excited this year about a lot of our cultural performances that we're going to feature. So we're working with the Colorado Asian Heritage Center. They're going to bring out a traditional lion dance. We're also going to do the Mudra Dance Studio, and they're going to do a Bollywood feature. We're partnering with the Museum of Outdoor Arts, and they're going to bring Creature Obscura, and that is monumental inflatable sculptures that guests can discover all over the site.
Love that.
And then, of course, our 90 visual artists are the stars of our show, so people can enjoy those as well.
And we have one of the stars. John Hamilton is here. You're from Arvada, is that right? Well, welcome to the show. You're working on some coffee mugs here. What have you got?
So I work with Stencils, and I decided to go ahead and do a Colorado flag just for Colorado and Company.
Yay!
And so I work with stencils, and the process is I lay the stencil down, pounce color on the surface, remove that stencil, add a new stencil, and so it's several stencils that create one image. And so any of my rocket ships, that's how they're done. So I've created several works of art this way. It's just a different way to transfer images onto my
Wonderful.
pieces.
And we're going to have some fun with these mugs here in just a second. This is one of the rocket ships you brought.
Yeah.
Explain this. It's beautiful.
All of my work, I like to deal with the idea of these sculptures that actually have a full function to them. And so I do have a basic cup, but then I get into this idea that these pieces should have a place on your countertop or your table, and then when people come over, if you're serving or if you're just wanting to have a little fun yourself and take my cow being abducted here and flip them over. Now I have a cup, a plate, and a bowl. And so I make these larger, and I have serving sets, and I said, well, why not have a fleet of UFOs to go with that serving set?
A fleet of UFOs. I love it. And I love that this is just functional and in 3 pieces, and you can do all kinds of fun things with it. And the cow being abducted. Very fun. All right, you brought something for me to work on as well. Okay, and again, these are the coffee mugs. And so what am I going to do here with this one?
So inside there's a sponge for you, so go ahead and grab that out. I've got my medium that I use, and this is a medium that gets, it sticks to the surface, so it's 100% dishwasher safe. You could lick it if you wanted. Not now, not now.
Oh,
after it goes through the process.
No, it was a food segment. No.
And so we're just going to take and kind of, we're going to grab this stencil.
Okay.
And you're just going to lay it on top.
Okay.
And
does it matter? Let's see. Does it
just
matter?
line it up as close as you can.
The C goes this way.
Yeah, you got to sit there and
I
how do I draw my letters?
Okay. Very cool. So
Right,
I've laid it on top.
Just going to lightly hold that there. And then you're going to take your sponge. And you're going to dip it in the red medium here.
This one here?
Go ahead and dip it into the container, and then we're going to use the little surface behind it to push the medium into the sponge.
That's probably enough.
If we oversaturate it, the medium tends to slip underneath the stencil, so now you're just going to lightly bounce that on the surface, and you won't mess anything up.
He says you won't mess anything up. Oh, so pouncing, like you
Pouncing,
said,
right.
not rubbing and not over squeezing.
Right. If we push too hard, then the medium tends to just kind of squeeze underneath the stencil, and so you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I'm done. You want to come exhibit for me?
Now, what kind of paint is this? Because it dries really quickly.
It does, and it dries quickly.
Look what I did.
Oh no!
I messed it up.
So you can wax that later and then wipe the surface. And so the medium is called an underglaze, and it stays matte rather than the surface of something like this that's glossy. And so we've got our C on there.
After that, with a little overkill.
And I use this little squeeze bottle. It's got a little fine tip on it, and you're just going to try and draw lightly around the edge. So it's a light squeeze. I know,
TV,
right?
Just no pressure.
No pressure.
And I don't have my glasses on.
Now you appreciate John's process, right?
I do appreciate John's process and fine, skilled Steady hands. All right, now what other kinds of things do you make, John?
So mostly space-themed work. I wanted all my pieces to reference a lot of sci-fi. And so it was finding ways not to copy, but to be influenced by. A lot of my work is inspired by things like Star Wars and
Very cool.
I mean, any UFO type movie.
Yeah.
And so that's where these guys came from. A lot of the pieces that I create that are very more modern, mid-mod kind of looking, they look like the side of a futuristic spaceship. And so I just wanted to continue that theme without it being too direct from, oh, this looks like BB-8 off of Star Wars. So
Fun. All right. So my artwork, not so great, but let's put John's front and center. Here, there we go. That's better. Mine's just, I'm a quasi-artist. I love the alien or robot on your shirt there.
This is a local artist, actually.
That's great.
Yeah,
And
Astro Apparel.
Astro Apparel. Okay, where can we find you at the festival?
I'll be booth 18, and I'll be inside the hangar.
All right. Tara, the event's coming up on the 7th and 8th of September. Can you believe we're talking about September? Where should people go for more information?
You know what? They can go to our website, stanleyartsfestival.org, and they can find us on any social media at Cherry Arts. And we hope that people come out. It's going to be a really fun event.
Wonderful. It will be a fun event and interactive, like you said. There's immersion and uniqueness and all kinds of good stuff. So John and Tara, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, if you're looking for a family-friendly, fun event and it's free, don't miss out on the Stanley Arts Festival. It's a great opportunity for first-time art collectors to dip their toe in the water of art, the art buying world. So it's produced by Cherry Arts, and to support the arts education, the Stanley Arts Festival takes place at Stanley Marketplace on September 7th and 8th. So be sure to visit our guest, John, at booth 18. For more information, go to stanleyartsfestival.org.